How we doing? How we doing?
Because I actually asked him, can I do the PUP every year? He's like, hell no, Hamp, I ain't never putting you on that shit again. You know what I mean? I ain't never putting you on that again.
Samoa, that's my culture. I like to put them on the map, The problem with us is we like to eat ourselves out the league.
They're going to get a quarterback when they feel that it's the right time. You can reach for somebody, you can think somebody's good, but that doesn't mean that's the right fit for your team at this moment.
All right, well, I'm good. I'm Cam Heyward. How we doing today?
And I'm obviously Hayden Walsh.
This is another episode of Not Just Football. Special episode this week. Our live coverage from the draft party, or the draft here in Pittsburgh at Tequila Cowboy. I want to say thank you so much for Tequila Cowboy letting us come out here, but excited to have a good time. How about you guys?
We got three very special guests and possibly a secret guest that might be coming. Ryan Shazier's here, Jaylen Warren's here, and Casey Hampton is here. So stay tuned. We got some fun people coming out.
You guys like that? You came here for me.
For me, right? For me.
I dig it. I want to give a shout out to Homage, all their incredible merch. We might just have some for y'all today. Keep an eye out for our launch of merch on notjustfootball.com. Also, we have a game-worn helmet as well. If you like the helmet, we're doing a giveaway story. Subscribe on Not Just Football YouTube page. Follow the podcast on Instagram. We'll be picking a winner later today, and I'll be signing it as well. But make sure you like the story on Not Just Football's Instagram.
And another thing I want you guys to do is go to the Not Just Football Instagram and ask questions for Cam in our Ask Cam Anything segment coming up later today. No matter what you ask, if we pick it, Cam must answer that question honestly. So feel free to put in there whatever you want.
I don't have to answer everything.
Everything. That is the rule. You are obligated to answer everything they ask if we pick it.
All right. I can't tell you when it is. I cannot tell you guys when the Dublin game is, but we'll talk about that later. But let's jump right in. How do you feel about the draft so far?
I personally love the draft, but I think the people want to hear what you think of the draft. Obviously, we drafted a guy who I've seen comps of you, Harmon, and
right.
Caleb Johnson was a great pick too. Where do you stand on the two draft picks?
I think, one, it's not fair to compare another player to a teammate. I just don't think that's right. But Derek Harmon, really good player, even better person. I think everybody's got a chance to hear his story. I like the way he plays on the field. He can play a 5 technique, a 3 technique, a 4 technique, good hands, good acceleration. And I think he's only going to continue to just keep getting better. So I think we really lucked out with that, getting a guy like that early in the draft. And then we just got Caleb Johnson from Iowa. Pretty cool. Got another running back. We needed one. We'll get thoughts from Jaylen Warren later, but I think we've really hit the grand slam with the picks we've gotten so far.
I saw a quote from Harmon that he said he watched you when he was a baby. He's been watching you since he was a baby. Does that make you feel a little old, that guys are saying they were watching you when they were babies? It's a testament to, though, how long you've played. So let's find the positives in this, okay?
Next question.
Okay. How do you think he'll fit in the D-line room with you? You ready? What do you think he does best right now that you've seen?
I think he's got a good motor. I think he's you can't expect someone to be refined off the bat and know everything that's going to happen in the game. But I think he plays with a good motor. He finishes a lot of plays. He's only going to continue to keep getting better. And I think he's going to fit great in our room. Keanu Benton, Dean Lowry, Isaiah Loudermilk, Montravius Adams. We got a good group of guys, and I think you add him into the mix, we're going to create a lot of havoc.
All right, now you don't have to give me specific players. What do you think is the needs for today's draft, 4 through 7?
Ooh, 4 through 7. We could use a quarterback. We'll see what happens there. I don't know who it's going to be. Maybe another wide receiver. Could find a little bit more help in the D-line if we can. I think you can't go wrong with adding another O-lineman as well. So those are the needs. maybe another DB or safety, but we'll see what's out there.
Now, I heard someone say Shedeur Sanders. Before we bring on any guest, I do want to hear what your take is on that. He's obviously fallen in the draft a little bit. I honestly don't think the media coverage has been very fair. I saw he was also prank called yesterday during the draft, which I didn't think was very fair either. What do you think as a player who's been in the league a long time? What do you think about that situation, and how do you feel for Shedeur?
I think with Sheduer, you know, I think it's a rough situation. Like, I think a lot of people have not given him the information he deserves. One thing about having an agent, that's what they're used for, to help mitigate where you're gonna go, talk to teams, have that communication. He didn't have that. But I think prank calling a player in the middle of the most important in life that's not cool. I wish every player could have the opportunity to just focus on the draft and not worry about the hoopla and the Twitter and all the other social medias really affecting it. But I think going forward, wherever he's going to be successful. I think he's a good talent. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and he just needs opportunity. And I think he'll get that today.
How much motivation is this going to give him? Athletes
Fuel to the fire.
They are different people. He's going to use this for the rest of his life.
He should. If you have a chance to create, that noise that just motivates you, take advantage of that. Go out there and make sure everybody was wrong about how they evaluated you.
Do you think if his dad wasn't Deion Sanders, this would be that big of a deal, or he would have dropped this far? Do you think that plays any role in what's going on? I know a lot of people have said that.
I think that's a cop-out. To use anyone's dad and to not look at him as an individual, that's not fair. Deion's not going to be at every practice. Deion's probably not even going to be at every game. But I think you have to look in the future and say, can Sheduer help your team? That's what your only concern can be. And if you think he can progress, that's only going to make your team better.
Okay, so let's go.
All right, before we get started with our guests, I want to do one quick thing. We have this game. We call it This or That. We would love the guests to get involved, tell us what you think, and see if we have some debates going on. And Hayden, I'll ask you these too. So,
okay, go.
First one, bone-in or boneless wings?
I'll say bone in, but I'm not against boneless. Like, this is the problem with Cam. Cam thinks that you can only be on one side of the argument. You can do both, okay? You can like blue cheese and ranch. You can like bone in and boneless wings. I prefer bone in, but you can do boneless. Don't hate on boneless wings. Don't do that.
All right, boneless wings are terrible. They're basically nuggets. Let's get that right. Nuggets are great, but if you're calling them something different, that's something.
Boneless wings.
There's a reason why they're calling them different, and it's probably not the right reason.
That's a boneless wing.
All right. This is like a Pittsburgh question. Larry Fitzgerald or Darrelle Revis?
Listen, Darrelle Revis is one of the best corners I've ever seen play. But hold on. But Larry Fitzgerald in college at Pitt was probably the best wide receiver I've ever seen play in college. He was unstoppable. You threw him a jump ball, he was taking it every time. I'm gonna go with Larry Fitzgerald on that. You go Larry Fitzgerald. What about you? You gotta answer the question. You can't ask it and get out of this. Answer the damn question.
I got a relationship with one of the guys. Fitz is my guy. Watching Fitz play, you can't talk about a better person as well as just a really good player. You got to struggle him every week. All right, next one. Who means more to the city of Pittsburgh? Sidney Crosby or Ben Roethlisberger?
I don't know. Well, there you go. That's fair. He's currently still doing it. I don't know. That's tough, man. I mean, both have meant so much to this city, and both have lived up to expectations. I mean, who would you pick? Take your football hat off.
My teammate side would say Ben, but Sid has done a lot. Like, Sid does not make this an easy conversation. So,
Sidney's got more rings, I think, right? So maybe lean him.
How many rings does Sid have?
I think he's got 3, right?
Ben's got 2.
Ben's got 2. Yeah, Ben's got 2. Yeah, he's got
I don't
2.
know.
Bradshaw's got 4, so I don't know. Yeah. We both copped out on that. We did not give an answer on that.
No, I'm not giving you an
answer. Yeah, I'm
answer.
not responding to that. Great question.
Next one. Renegade or black and yellow?
This is a Steeler-heavy crowd. You knew Renegade was coming out of that. I mean, is there any better feeling late in the fourth quarter when that screen goes dark and everybody knows what's coming? Even the opposing team knows what's coming, man. That is, I'm getting chills right now thinking about it.
Okay, Renegade it is. Last one. The Immaculate Reception or Ben's touchdown to Santonio in the Super Bowl?
That's my only argument.
Only thing is
okay, the Immaculate Reception, it felt, they didn't win it that year, but it felt like that started the run, right?
right.
But that Ben to Santonio play, man, I will never forget. Well, I wasn't alive for the Immaculate Reception, obviously, but I will never forget where I was. Don't know how Ben fitted in there. I'm going to go with that one because it's closer to me. I don't remember the Immaculate Reception. I wasn't even alive.
I love Franco and I love the Immaculate Reception, but you get a chance to win a Super Bowl. That is a game-changing play. So I'll probably give.
I'm going to go with that. It's a championship winning. I agree. I agree with that. I agree. Santonio was great.
I
don't
know
start.
if Ben should have been the MVP. James Harrison should have been the MVP.
Man, listen.
That is one of the most memorable plays in NFL history.
Dude, that drive to win it. The drive to win it, and then if you remember, Santonio caught the play, right? The play before, Ben put one on the money on the opposite play, and we talked to Max Starks about how they got back to the huddle, and he said, same play the other way, and it worked. I still think Ben should have gotten that one. That game-winning
drive. It's not
drive,
a shot at Ben.
It's a shot at Ben. It's what it feels like. It feels like a shot at Ben. Ben should have won the MVP.
99 yards for any defensive player. I'm thinking I'm winning the MVP
We can agree. We can agree on this. That is the greatest play in Super Bowl history.
I agree.
I can agree with you on that.
I agree.
But Ben's the MVP. Wait, what was that?
She asked, would I be able to run that back?
Everybody do me a favor.
I've gotten in the end zone.
2010, I believe, Ohio State plays Miami. Cam intercepts a ball on about the 30-yard line. By the time he gets across the 50, a piano had fallen on his back, and he had basically just collapsed. James Harrison, I don't think Cam's making that play. It's too long. It's just too long of a play.
You done?
You'd have to pitch it. You'd have to pitch it to James Harrison to finish it off.
All
How
right,
about that?
let's keep it moving here. You keep it going. Now we have to bring up one of our guests. He is a two-time Super Bowl champion. He is a first-round pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's loved by everybody. He's the glue of the Pittsburgh Steelers defense of 2005, 2008. Let's give it up. Oh, big snack as well. Let's give it up for Casey Hampton. What up?
What's good?
You good?
I'm good, man. Appreciate that. Been working on it.
He's no longer the big snack, just the appetizer.
No, I'm a medium-sized snack. Medium-sized snack.
All right, Ham. We're here for the draft party. Talk about your draft story.
Mine was a little different, man. I tell everybody, I kind of knew I was coming to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Because when I worked out at the University of Texas, Cowher and Coach Mitch, who ended up being my D-line coach, came down there and worked me out and everything. So after the workout, Cowher told my agent, which I didn't really believe him. He was like, if he's still there when we draft, we're gonna draft him. So it kind of ended up happening like that.
Did you know of any other teams that were interested?
Nah, not really. I mean, I had went on a couple visits to other teams and stuff like that, but you know what I mean? It really didn't matter to me. I really didn't know the history of Pittsburgh, the Steelers and all that kind of stuff like that. So it was kind of, I had to learn it when I got here, you know what I mean? What was it like coming to Pittsburgh? Were you in culture shock? It was different. It was definitely different. But you know, growing up, being from Texas,
yeah,
I grew up in Galveston, which is right down the street from Houston. I was always an Oilers fan, so you know, we was beefing with the Steelers all the time. So you know, I would never. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's all good. You know, that was back in the day, but we was always beefing with the Steelers. But I know that the tradition of the defense and the great defenses and things like that, you can't not know that. You know what I mean? And be a football fan. So I knew the tradition of defenses and things like that. So I was excited about being a part of that.
What was your welcome to the NFL moment?
Welcome to the NFL, man. I don't know, Cam. I mean,
You started as a rookie. That's crazy when you look at like the Pittsburgh Steelers.
yeah, but it took me a while. I didn't start at first. He made me earn it. When he finally started me, when Kyra finally started me, he was like, I could have had you out there, but I couldn't just give it to you. I had to make you earn it. So, and I think I really appreciate that from him because
Yeah.
he's that type of guy. He's not into giving things.
Yeah.
Like you gonna earn everything. You know what I mean? Even though I probably was a little bit better than the guy in front of me, he still made me go out there and go get it. So that's just still a way.
Do you remember the game you started?
Tennessee Titans, Monday Night Football. That was my first start. I went against, and what's crazy is I went against Bruce Matthews.
Oh, wow.
So he was playing center. So I grew up an Oilers fan. So, you know, that was one of my guys. And what's crazy is his sons trained where I trained at in Houston.
Yeah.
So Bruce always up there and things like that. And we kind of talk about that. I gave him the business a little bit. He was a little bit older. He was a little bit older. I took advantage of him. I prayed on the week that day. But hey, I'll take that. I'll take that victory from a Hall of Fame. He was an old guy, man. We talk about it. We laugh about it all the time. But I call him at the end. I'll take that.
Talk about the difference between Cowher and Tomlin.
Oh man. So I was both of those guys. I played for both of them 6 years.
Yeah.
So it's kind of different for me because I was a man when Tomlin got here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I became a man with Cowher. So you know what I mean? That's kind of the difference. And I think, man, the big thing with Cowher, like, it's like everybody wouldn't go to his office and knock on their door and want to talk to him. I feel like Tomlin, anybody go up in that office and knock on the door and want to talk to him. But Cowher was like, you thought about it. You know what I'm saying? You had to think about it. It was a little bit of fear
Yeah.
in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With him, and it was just kind of ran a little bit different. Both ways were effective.
Yeah.
No doubt. But Cowher, man, he was a little bit more hard nosed. Tomlin's hard nosed guy, but he cool. But Cowher, he get after it, man. He's consistent with the hard nosed shit. He's consistent with it.
When Mike T came, did you guys butt heads when he first got here?
Nah, I wouldn't say we butted heads. I just think he didn't know me. You know what I mean? He didn't know me.
Why? Explain
He didn't
why.
know me. So, from the things like coming into camp, me being overweight, and him putting me on PUP and things like that, But all the coaches said, like, hey, man, don't worry about him. When it's time to go, he's going to be ready and going to be in shape and going to be ready to go. But he just didn't know me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we had to get to know each other. You know what I mean? We had to get to know each other. He put me on PUP, and I didn't practice. He thought that was a punishment, but I didn't want to practice anyway. So, let me go on the side and work out. So, you know what I mean? And get ready to go. So it was a cool thing, man. Mike T, that's my guy, man. And he wants to be ran a certain way, man. Want me to be in shape and come in and be ready to go, man. But we worked it out. He know on game day when September come and be ready to go. He figured that out.
When did y'all work it out? When did he finally realize, all right, I'm gonna quit messing with him?
After the first, when he put me on PUP, man, I kind of seen I got to come in a little bit better shape. I said I'm gonna go ahead and work out a little bit in the off season and come in a little bit better and be ready to go a little bit, man. Because I actually asked him. I say, man, can I do the PUP every year? He's like, hell no, Hamp, I ain't never putting you on that shit again. You know what I mean? I ain't never putting you on that again. He seen that didn't work, so you know what I mean. So I went on ahead and came in and shape a little bit better.
What advice would you give a rookie that's joining the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Man, come in, be ready to go. You know what I mean? Just and one thing, Mike T always said, physical conditioning precedes everything. Mm-hmm. Come in, be in shape, be ready to learn, be ready to go, man. And just be ready for the journey. Embrace the journey, man. You got to embrace everything about, you know what I mean, getting better and being a good teammate, and just, you know, get with the older guys, get with your older guys, you know what I mean, and just feed off of those guys, man. Just be a sponge, you know what I mean, and listen to those guys. I think guys now come in and think they know everything. You don't know everything, man. You got to get you a vet and stick to them and let them teach you the ropes.
I feel like I learned a lot from you. Shoot, like.
Well, I think you probably learned a lot of bad habits from me.
No.
But I think you had Aaron Smith, Keith, those guys. You learned a lot of good habits from those guys.
I learned a lot from everybody. You are the glue of that defense.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody always wanted to be around you. And I will say this, it never felt like you ever had a bad day when it came to work.
Man, how can you have a bad day when you're making great money, right? you're around your best friends every day. We're in there, we're talking, we hanging out, we working out, we eating together, and you playing the game that you love. Like it's like a fairy tale world.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not reality. You know what I mean? Like what can I possibly come in there and be mad about? I mean, like, seriously, when you get done, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because like the game on Sunday, cool, it was great. Had a great time, it was fun. But the camaraderie, the locker room, going to work every day, hanging out with the guys, that's what you miss, because you can't replace that in no kind of way, man. You miss that.
You talk about missing it. 2005, y'all win your first Super Bowl. Talk about that run.
It was crazy, man. We started off slow, you know what I mean, and you know, we had a really, really good team the year before, you know what I mean, and started off slow and got rolling. I think, you know, the key to the winning the Super Bowl and the playoffs and things like that is being hot at the right time.
Yeah.
We got hot at the right time. Great leadership. Man, we had a great defense. You know, it was old school Steelers football, run the football, play defense, man. And it was just a magical run, man. Like, the guys on that team, like the closeness of the guys on that team, man, it was like none other. Like, I was a young guy on that first Super Bowl team, man, and to see guys like Bussy and Hines and all those guys, man, it was a great run, man. It was different.
Before I move to our next segment, I want everybody to know when they won the Super Bowl in 2005, Mr. Rooney had the trophy, and he brought it over to Casey to take off the plane. And I want you to explain that moment and what that meant to you about being able to take the trophy off the plane the first time.
Man, that was a crazy moment, man. I was sitting on the plane, and it was like I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting on it and say, Mr. Rooney, want to talk to you. I'm like, all right, Mr. Rooney, what's up, man? He said, hey, Casey, I want you to lead us off I want you to take the trophy and lead us off the plane when we get off the plane. And I almost got him. See, people try to say I got emotional and cried, like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really get emotional, but it made me feel a real certain type of way, man. That really, really made me feel really, really good. That was one of my best moments. Like, you know what I mean? For him to ask me to do that, I knew I was really in the game then. You know what I mean? I was a little emotional. You know, I was a little emotional. That made me really feel good, man. But that was a big deal, though, man. You know what I mean? That was my guy. I missed that guy, man. That was my guy, man. He was just an all-around good dude, man. Just all-around good dude.
I remember this one thing you told me your rookie year now. Before we get to this next segment, I got to bring this up. Mr. Rooney, the ambassador, he was awesome. But you told me you flew a plane with him one time. And Mr. Rooney had just gotten his pilot license.
Don't tell that lie, man. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing for sure. I was not getting in no plane with Mr. Rooney. I was not doing that. No, sir, Bob. He can have that.
You told me he fell asleep when he was flying the plane.
Well, you know how stories come about and guys are young and you just kind of tell them stuff and it's myths and stuff like that. That's probably one of those deals right there.
Okay, I'll leave it for another time then. All right, I got these photos, right? I want you to talk about the moment in these photos, all right?
You got some photos?
Some photos for you.
Come on, man.
You ready? All right, this is the first photo. Look up here. Tell me what you see. Come on. Oh. Where's it at? Right there.
That was a 2008.
Yep.
2008 defense.
Yeah.
Had a #1 defense. I remember that photo shoot, man. We had that photo shoot. Man, it was so live, man. Like all those guys, man. That was a great time, man. And we were a great defense, man. I got that photo up in my house, in my weight room, man. That's a big time picture. Only thing I don't like, man, about that picture is we don't have my guy Hokey in the picture with me too, man. Hokey supposed to be in the Hokey bro supposed to be in the picture too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do push-ups before
That's a dope picture. Nah, man, I was just swole like that. You know what I mean? I just look like that. You say you gotta put it behind and make your arms look a little bigger. You know how to do that, yeah. Mean looking dude back then.
Oh man. And you're front and center too. That's the best part about it.
Hey man, it all starts in the middle, baby. It all starts in the middle. You know, hey, you know about that.
Yep.
It all starts in the middle.
All right, next photo.
Ooh. Hey man, that's one of the all-time classics right there, man. That's one of the all-time classics. Me, Debo, and Pot Dog, man, we were celebrating and enjoying it.
Where did y'all get the robes?
That's after the Super Bowl, man. You know, they give us the robes. Them boys, I actually had my clothes on. I see them with their robes. I put my robe on and put my shades on, and hey man, it's time to shine. We won a Super Bowl out there shining, man, having a good time.
How long did y'all stay in there?
Man, I don't even know, dude. Like that whole, I remember after that Super Bowl, I remember waking up in the hallway outside of my room. I don't know how the hell I got there, dude. That night, I woke up I remember walking up in front of my room in the hallway.
You imagine going back to your room at night and Casey Hampton's just asleep on the floor outside of his room?
I think I didn't have my key, and there was just no way I could make it back down to the front desk, so I just laid down and went to sleep.
What was that Super Bowl party like?
Man, it was dope, man. It's all the winning Super Bowl party, man. It's like it was crazy, man. All the guys on stage singing,
oh wow,
freestyling, rap. Did
you sing?
Nah, I did a little freestyle and did a little something. You know, when you're under the influence, you know what I mean. You can do a few things that you might don't think you can do.
Okay. Last photo.
Yeah. That's sexy Hamp right there, baby. Yeah. That's the Super Bowl parade.
Yep.
So I remember before this parade, y'all remember High Tops when High Tops was down the street? It was I think it's a dispensary now or something right down the street from here. It was called High Tops back then. We went out the night before the parade, and I was under the influence. I had a few, and I fell asleep at High Tops. And they were trying to wake me up, and they say I was like kind of they didn't want nobody to bother me, so they said just let them sleep. So I remember that morning somebody waking me up and saying, Hamp, they finna start the parade. So they came and got me and took me to the parade. So I think that it was just a continuation from the night before. Hey man, I had some good times, dude. I got 1,000 stories, dude. I had some good times when I was in Pittsburgh, dude.
What made you take off your shirt?
Hey man, that's what I do.
It was February.
Hey man, I didn't feel nothing. I was feeling good. I was feeling good out there, man. Hey, man, you got to give people what they want.
Wait, is this still the same Super Bowl parade where you jumped into the crowd?
No, I think that might be a different. No, I don't think this is the one. I think that was the first one. I think this might be the. I look the same in both of them, man. I don't know which one that one is.
Why did you
But
jump in the crowd,
I think I took my shirt off in both Super Bowl parades, though.
I dig it. I dig it.
You say, why did I jump into the crowd?
Yeah, why did you jump into the crowd?
I wanted to see if they can catch me.
Did they?
Absolutely. They took care of me. Crowd surfing.
Wait, you crowd surf?
Crowd surf, man.
Wow.
No way you crowd
Hey, man.
surf.
There's thousands of people out there. I'm surprised you didn't have that picture on there.
I couldn't find that one. I couldn't find that one. What's your most memorable play?
Probably, you know, I don't get it. You probably had more sacks in one season than I had my whole career. So, my most memorable play probably my sack in the Super Bowl. Because I don't get a lot of them. You know what I mean? So that was kind of a big deal for me, and we won the game. So that was kind of a big deal for me. You know, I was the first guy to ever have a sack in a Super Bowl and in the Pro Bowl in the same year.
That's some trivia right there if
man.
you ever need
There
it.
you go. There you go.
Put that up there. Yeah, and I'm not a sack guy. I just look like this. I do. You know what I mean?
You looking at me like I did.
Yeah, put that. I did something you didn't do.
I like it. What's one quarterback you thought you could sack?
You say what?
What's one quarterback you wish you would have sacked?
It didn't matter, man. I wasn't really tripping on sacking those guys, man. But
Okay, what's the one running back you were looking forward to stopping?
oh man,
Because you done played against them.
man, dude. You know who was? You know, Fred T was hard to get on the ground. He was one of the hardest ones to get on the ground. Jamal Lewis was tough. You know what I mean? Corey Dillon. We had, like, when I played, man, it was a running back league, man. Like, and I think that's coming back. It's only coming back because all the D linemen are so small, and everybody got guys who just want to rush and all that. So, you know what I mean? I mean, seriously, that's the only reason guys are running the ball now. Like, you know what I mean? But it was just so many good backs, dude. Like, you know what I mean? I like the big backs.
Yeah.
I like the big backs where they can't go nowhere but run into you. That's my thing. You know, Eddie George, those big guys. I like those big guys.
When y'all played Sean Alexander in the
I
Super
wanted all that. I wanted all that. Man, them guys, you know, but you know, the NFC teams back then were kind of they were kind of more finesse. They wasn't accustomed to the physical style of play and how we played the AFC. We were a physical team. Like going into the Super Bowl, they were talking about him, Alexander, and how he ran the ball and things like that. But we knew running sideways, you're not gonna be able to run the ball on us because we gonna indent that line of scrimmage and we gonna get up the field and that's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? So we wasn't worried about the run game. Never. When I was here, we were never worried about stopping the run. People ran the balls on us. Sometime it was rare, but that was never a thought. We like the things y'all be doing and going into the games and worrying about. No, we ain't worried about that. No.
Take me to 2011, his rookie year. What was he like? And give me your favorite Cam Heyward story.
Oh man, that's a long time ago, man. Man, I remember Cam coming in. Cam was really, really quiet. Didn't really talk a whole lot. You know what I mean? He was laid back. Cam worked his ass off. He worked really, really hard. But the thing about Cam, man, is when we got out to practice with the O-line, it's like he just had a problem with O-linemen. Like he just would he would just look at O-linemen and you just see that look in his eye like he just wanted to fight all the time. Like, what's going on, Cam? And it's like, you know how when you're little, you got to get the last lick all the time? It was like Cam and the lineman to lock up, you let go. No, you let go. No, you let go. Cam is not letting go until they let go of him first. Like, and if they don't let go first, and then it's a fight. Then now he's fighting. Now we got to go over there, break it up, and get in the fight with Cam. But that's what I remember about Cam. He come in. He always had to have the last push or the last anything. And what made it worse is our D-line coach, Coach Mitch, he encouraged him. He told him, hey, man, I would let him do that to me, man. I wouldn't let him do that to me. So they gave him the okay to go out there and fight. So that's what he did his whole rookie year.
All right, let me provide some context to this. My rookie year, I just came in. I didn't have any OTAs, minicamp, because we were in the lockout. And so I didn't know how practice went. I wasn't going to try anything. But the O-linemen, they were trying extra stuff, and they just kept, pushing after the play. So then I come to the sideline. Coach Mitch is like, "Hey, I wouldn't let them do that to me. You can fight back. You can fight back." I was like, "All right, bet. I can fight back." Little did I know I was going to get jumped by everybody after. But the thing I loved about it was after I got jumped, Hamp came running out from the sideline and just throwing folks. And so I felt like after that, like I was like accepted, like you included me in.
Hey man, you got to get out there and fight. You know what I mean? If I see you got that in you, you good with me. That's a big deal, man. Not letting nobody punk you, dude. Like that's a big deal with me. If you gonna get out there and I'm gonna get out there with you. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
All right. Well, that's a trip down memory lane. I gotta give a big round of applause for our guy, Casey Hampton. If you would like to ask a question, we're gonna take 3 questions before we bring up our next guest. First question. How you doing, sir?
Good, how you doing?
I'm great.
How is it that a whole family can be in professional football? Like, what happens in that house growing up where it's like you, your brother, your dad? Like, I understand dad's gonna push his kids.
Yeah.
But damn, dude, like both y'all in the NFL, that's impressive.
Well, funny thing is, my dad never forced sports on me at all. When it came to football, he was actually against it, and my mom had to warm him up to the idea. But I think we were just competitive. We all wanted to just, like, push ourselves in anything. And, whether it was football, basketball, any debate, we just always got into it. But, we always had a culture around just being competitive.
Nice.
Thank you. All right, two more.
Cam, I don't have a question for you, but I have football cards I'd like to give to you of your father.
Oh,
Football
wow.
card of your dad. Here we go.
Football card. Thank you.
Wow.
30 of them.
30 football
Wow.
cards. Wow.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
No question. You just
No
got a
question.
gift.
What's up? How you doing?
Do you think that we should have picked Shedeur Sanders over Caleb Johnson?
Do I think we should have picked Shedeur Sanders over Caleb Johnson? I think there's still an opportunity to draft Sheduer if we want. But I think we had a big need at running back. Losing Najee. Understand we have Jaylen Warren, but I think you want a committee of running backs. So Caleb Johnson, I think, is going to be a good player for us.
Oh, no.
This is our guy. Tony,
wow.
what's up?
Wow.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Hey, Tony.
Pretty good, you?
Good. Well, the question's going to be the relationship between your two families growing up. Explain to everybody kind of the athletic competitions between the two, the friendships between the two, the family. Obviously, I think it's really cool, really complex. But
You talk about athletic.
I'm trying to give him. I'm trying to give him a little runway.
I don't
yeah.
really know where. There's no athletic.
Well, physically, I'm a better athlete than you. I think everyone would understand that.
I don't think anyone believes that.
Physically, the Walshes are better athletes than the Haywards, I would say.
I would doubt
say
that.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, I would say our relationship started. Our brothers, my middle brother Corey and his brother Jared, were actually friends first, best friends. But we kind of just started hanging out. Like he would always come over, and I would always go over there, and I think we got really close in high school, and yeah, we've been together ever since.
Yeah, I mean, we've known each other for a long time. The families are very close. My family's from Western PA. His mom is from Western PA. Steeler fan growing up. He got to the Steelers. I hate Ohio State. He went there. I don't know why he did that to me. But
I'll
you know
just
what?
say, when I was there,
We got over
never
it.
lost to
We
that
got
team up
over it.
north.
We got over it. We've mended that part of our relationship, and we're no longer fight about that. We bicker like brothers, and I think it's that's just what we do. We argue about everything. It's really what it
We
is.
argue about everything.
I mean,
the one thing I loved, those Ohio State-Michigan games, when I was there, I would always call him right after the game and be
from
like,
the
"Did
locker
you
room.
watch?"
From the locker room, and then ask, "Did I watch?" And I'm like, "Of course I watched. You just scored a touchdown. Thank you. I appreciate
Right.
that." So it was
Just had to rub it in a little
very
bit more.
painful 4 years. Thank you for making
Yeah.
me relive that today in front of everybody too. I really appreciate that. And thanks, Tony, for giving Cam an opportunity to talk about going 4-0 against Michigan. Appreciate that, buddy.
All right, you guys ready for the next guest? Our next guest, we are bringing to the table Jaylen Warren. You say, look at those legs?
Look at those legs.
Oh my gosh.
Leg? You like my leg?
All right, calm down. It's not that serious. You all right?
Yeah, I'm straight.
You good?
How about you?
Feeling good.
Straight?
I'm great. Because last time we talked to you, I got to talk about this. You went viral.
I know.
You went viral.
Yeah, I know.
So is Mason Rudolph going to play kickoff this year?
Skylar Thompson?
I don't know.
Skylar
You don't
Thompson
know?
returning kicks.
No. I know nothing.
You know something.
I don't think so.
You do.
If
All
I was
right.
to say something, I don't know.
Okay. One thing we'll get to that, but we got to talk about it. All right, Najee's gone. What can fans expect from Jaylen Warren in 2025?
Same thing I brought the past 3 years, the grit, the hard work. I changed nothing about my game. I plan on, taking us to the Super Bowl, none less.
There you go. You got them all excited. Look at you.
Huh?
You got them all excited. Okay, enough about the legs. Enough about the legs.
Bro.
All right, we talked about your draft experience last year. You got any advice for guys who go undrafted this week? You got any advice for guys who go undrafted this week?
I would say my advice is, make sure you just put your best foot forward. Don't let anybody steer your path. Don't compare your path with anyone else's. Everybody has their own path, and everything happens for a reason. Just make sure you're ready for the opportunity.
How much of a chip did you have on your shoulder?
Say I had a huge chip. My thing was I was told I was like around 5 through 7, but in my mind I was like, as long as I got my shot, I wasn't expecting on getting drafted, but whoever was to, pick me up, I knew I was gonna, put my best foot forward and I'll work whoever was in that room.
What was it like that first week going in the rookie minicamp and, being on the team?
I mean, it was a dream come true. I still get, those little spurts every now and then, but, I have a car, so I was walking from the hotel to the stadium and, or to the facility, and I just see the Steelers logo, and, it happens to this day. I never want to take it for granted because this window is very small, and I want to take it, advantage of every opportunity I have in it.
I dig it. So we drafted a running back last night, Caleb Johnson from Iowa. You have a chance to talk to him?
We talked a little bit on the gram, but, we're going to chop it up more when he come, obviously.
What'd you say to him?
I said I'm excited to work with him. He's a dog, too. Yeah. It's going to be good.
What's it like being the longest tenured Steeler now in that room? Najee's been there the last few years with you, but now you're the guy in that room who's been with the Steelers the longest. What's that like?
It's cool. I look at it as, I'm willing to help these guys out, give them my knowledge about the game. It ain't my first time. I just look at it like when I was at Oklahoma State, I was at that point. When I was at Utah State, I was at that point too. So it's just, I'm treated the same. Help the guys out, and whatever gives us the best opportunity to win, that's what I'm going to do.
Wait, I just found this out like yesterday. You have family ties to Willie Parker.
Yeah.
Did you ask him for advice when you were getting drafted?
Yeah, I actually FaceTimed him when I signed with the Steelers. and he told me about the only way I was gonna make the team is if I showed out in backs on backers.
Oh.
And when they take you to the high school, I was like, I'm gonna train for that then. Hey, tell me more. Tell me how I can, excel in that. And,
You like the backs on backers drill?
I love it.
You love it?
Who do you want to go against the most in backs on backers?
Cam.
You don't want that. You don't want
Wow.
that. You don't want that.
Nah, I mean, anybody, Malik Harrison, he's a dog too. I feel like last year, me and Nira, we made each other better by going up against each other. I always want to, challenge myself in those opportunities. Even if I get knocked down, a cowboy gets knocked off the horse, he always get back on that saddle, right?
Oh, wow.
Wow. Speaking like a real Oklahoma State guy right there.
Yeah, so something like that.
What's the biggest difference from last year's Jaylen Warren to this year's Jaylen Warren?
I would say just like I have more knowledge about the game. Last year, a part of me knew, I had Naj. We were that 1-2 punch. We have great running backs in this room too, but I'm really feeling that role in, of Naj as he was the veteran in the room or the guy that, kind of held things down. So I'm willing to take on that role and bring whatever it takes.
What's your most memorable play?
I would say, like if it's a run, probably my run against the Seahawks 2 years ago. Where I was just shedding tackles, just running the ball. At times as a running back, you're running the ball and you're just going hard, and then it hits your head like, oh, I'm still up. And then you just keep your legs moving. And that was one of them.
What are your thoughts about playing in Dublin, Ireland this year? You ready to go? Will this be your first international game?
Yeah, yes, sir.
What are your thoughts about playing internationally, and are you excited for that?
I'm excited. To me, I look at it as a business trip. We could play anywhere in the world. I'm there to win a game.
Have you heard the horror stories about the last time they went? Or you were
No.
hoping? Tell them about your time in London last time.
Oh, man. London was rough. We left Thursday night after practice, then arrived Friday morning, then went straight to practice, had meetings after. People were asleep during meetings. Like I remember Coach LeBeau holding the remote, falling asleep, and he was in fast forward. And like nobody said a word because we were all just tired. And then you moved to the game, and we were playing Adrian Peterson. And this was Adrian Peterson, like MVP Adrian Peterson.
Oh, AP.
Yeah. And everybody, there was one play, everybody had angles to tackle him.
Yeah.
But he moved past the angles, and we were running in quicksand. So it gets rough when you don't have enough sleep. And I think in the fourth quarter we made a comeback, but we still lost. And yeah, I hated that trip. I hated London just for that trip.
You feel that way about Ireland?
Hopefully we leave earlier.
That's what I'm saying. When did they leave?
I don't know, but I think the Vikings are gaming Tuesday, and so I was so jealous of the other team. And it's 6 hours ahead, so it's just gonna be wild to just even be out there. So get ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, I want to play a game with you. This or that. We did this with the crowd earlier. We got some responses, but I want to hear your responses. Bone in or boneless wings?
Bone in.
There you go.
Bone in.
Larry Fitzgerald or Darrelle Revis?
Darrelle Revis.
Ooh. Sidney Crosby or Ben Roethlisberger?
Ben.
TJ Watt or Paul Skeens?
TJ. My guy TJ.
Renegade or black and yellow?
Renegade.
Wait, I got a
Nothing
question
like Renegade.
with
Nothing like
that.
Renegade.
Are you jealous that you guys don't get Renegade?
Nah. Y'all get us hype. I
Do
get hyped
you
on the
wish like there was
sideline.
a song for like the offensive players?
I mean, I did. You know, y'all got a lot of edits up there. I'm like, where's the offense edits? Like, they got like 5 edits of them, and then one of us, and that's before the game starts.
What's a song you would want if you had a chance?
I'll do Renegade.
Oh, you want Renegade?
That Renegade
just
just
for the
hit
offensive
different.
side.
Yeah. That Renegade just hit different.
He's probably gonna say, okay. Ben throwing the touchdown to Santonio in the Super Bowl or the Immaculate Reception.
I would say Immaculate Reception. That's like the OG play.
I'm surprised.
That's like, yeah, I'm gonna say that one. I see the San Antonio one a lot, but the Immaculate Reception,
That's the ultimate hustle
just
play by a
stinks.
running back. I mean, the running back is
Yeah.
making the ultimate hustle play.
always-
You know,
I don't
he's
think your
gonna
little
go on that
arms would
side.
get down there.
No, I'd find a way. I'd find a way.
Who's gonna be our quarterback?
I don't know.
Who do you want to be our quarterback?
I want the most efficient one.
There you go.
I don't know.
good answer. Good answer.
Whatever
answer.
name that is, that's the one I want.
Let me ask you this: Mount Rushmore running backs all time. Who does Jaylen Warren watch and love?
I'm gonna do Barry Sanders, AP, Marshawn Lynch. I'm gonna throw in Saquon.
Oh wow.
Saquon. Yeah. I know that's the wrong PA team, but I gotta give respect too.
What did you think of the Super Bowl this year?
I mean, I wish it was a closer game, and I wish we were in it, but that's just next year. I thought it was cool. I watched it until like the third quarter.
Are you watching a lot of the playoffs and stuff? Because like Cam, sometimes when it's over, I feel like he can't watch anything. Can you still watch football when the season's over?
Yeah, I mean, it does get hard because, you know, we win this game, that would have been us, you know, the game I'm watching. But yeah, I just don't be as interested. During the season, I'll watch the games of the opponents we're about to play. I don't really watch football like that unless we're about to play that team. So I'll watch that game. But yeah.
Back to your rookie year. When you came here, what were you most shocked about?
I would say with the league, I thought it was going to be harder than like college training.
Wow.
Like college training, you run 2100s. I thought the league, we run like 50. So that surprised me. But the league is all about maintenance and staying healthy, which I've been taking very seriously. But yeah.
I got a game I want to play with him. You put him on the spot last year. You exposed him. He said Justin Fields was going to return kicks. Madden took that. I want you to ask Cam anything you want that he's got to answer.
Oh.
Whatever question you want, he must answer it. And if it gets clipped and goes viral, that happens.
It's my fault.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Ask him anything.
Anything. Doesn't got to be just football either. If you want to go off the board, you can go off the board.
Anything. We might have to come back to that one. I can't think of one now.
He's scared.
I'm going to come up with a good one, though. I'm going to come up with a good one, trust.
You're scared. You're
Of
scared.
what?
Hey, man.
I'm gonna get my shot. Yep. Just wait.
I hope so.
Oh my. Talk about having Ryan Shazier being a coach this year. What was that like in the running back room?
It was cool because he would give us, you know, insight on the defense and how defense sees the running backs. Like if, you know, they watch film just like we watch film. And so he'll give us like what they're looking at as the running backs, like pre-snap. He was giving us all that insight, so it was good.
What's a player you look at that you model your game after?
And
Currently, or you know,
Marshawn Lynch.
You ever get a chance to meet him?
Yeah, before the Raiders game. Yeah, he cool with the poly, so he came up to me asking about this little poly drink we have. I'm like, I ain't got none. It's before the game. But yeah, it's cool. Yeah, Skittles.
Did he give you any Skittles?
Nah, he ain't giving no Skittles. No Skittles for me.
What's it like being at Oklahoma State? What's the culture like over there?
Same it is over here, blue collar, hardworking. What I liked about it is, you know, a lot of teams are about the media and the image, you know, worried about what they look like on, you know, social media, Instagram, whatever. But we were just over there grinding, and that's what I like most about it is we gonna show you what we're about when we line up on the field.
Last year we had a first-round pick in Troy Falatanu, and unfortunately he got injured before the season. What can people look forward to in seeing Troy back in the picture?
I would say he got that dog in him too. You know, as you've seen, if you watch his Washington film, unfortunately he wasn't able to display it on the field this year, but he got that same dog. He got that grit. He got that nasty to him. I'm excited for him to, you know, display it this year. Yeah, high energy, high effort guy.
Yeah. Last question for me. You do a celebration with the S, right? Explain what that is.
That's just S for Samoa. You know, that's my culture. So yeah, not a lot of us are in the league, so I like to put them on the map. You know, the problem with us is we like to eat ourselves out the league. We like to eat. I was a garbage disposal growing up. I had to stop that because, you know, I'm a running back. I can't be on that.
You got it.
What's your go-to meal then? I mean, what are you eating?
If I could eat anything, it would be wings. I love wings. Yeah.
All right. Well, let me ask this.
wings.
Hold on, one more thing.
Yeah.
Do you like Big Shot Bob's? Are you familiar with Big Shot Bob's?
Yeah, I just got some wings from there.
Okay, because I'm a big fan of Big Shot Bob's. He put me onto that. We were talking to DeMar Hamlin about that as well, and he's a huge fan too. So you like Big Shot Bob's as well?
Yes. I've only had it once though, which was like 4 days ago.
Shout out Big Shot Bob's.
Shout out Big
Any
Shot
other
Bob's.
wing spots you like?
Any other spots?
Yeah.
I really just be in the crib looking on DoorDash. I don't know. I don't really go out much, but yeah, there's a couple places I just don't remember the name of them.
All right. Let's give a round of applause to Jalen Warren. He's an Ohio State Buckeye. He's a first-round draft pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's give it up for Ryan Shazier. All right, you ready?
I'm always ready.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah, I'm always ready.
All right, we're going to jump right into it. You were coaching last year. How was that?
No, I'm not gonna lie. It was a great experience to be able to, you know, be involved in the game plan, to be able to, you know, try to help lead the team to victory, give my insight. And it was kind of cool being on the offensive side of the ball because, you know, a lot of the times everybody has their perspective on what they feel like they see or what they think they see. So it was pretty cool when, you know, Arthur Smith would ask me what I thought about a situation. It doesn't mean that they were going to agree with it, but it was pretty cool.
What was the hardest part of that?
So the hardest part for me personally is it wasn't really the hours, but when I say what the hardest part, it is the hours. And the reason I say that is because, unfortunately, my family doesn't stay with me.
Yeah.
So I had a son in June, and then my next time seeing my son was in January.
Oh, wow.
So the only time I got to really see my kids was on FaceTime, unless they came to Pittsburgh. So I would feel like that was the toughest part for me personally. But if my family stayed in the same house with me, I would feel like the toughest part would be starting from the bottom. And I know that sounds cliche, you know, but to me, it was just being involved with football for so long, having your insight, having your knowledge, and then when it comes to coaching, they want you to kind of start back over again. I would say that's a difficult part of it.
what's it like being a player with Mike T versus being a coach with Mike T?
I think when it comes to being a player with Mike T, it's a lot more things that he's willing to deal with. When it comes to being a coach, you're a leader of men. So some of the things that you will get away with as a player, you can't really do as a coach. If you're running late as a player, it's like, hey, we'll fine you. You know, hey, we're upset at you. You know, if you're running late as a coach, then you do that one too many times, you're thinking, oh man, like, I might not have a job. I might, you know, oh man, like, what is everybody else in the building thinking about me? You know, and then also is Coach Tomlin is great when it comes to allowing you to do your job. So when you're a player, he's like, hey, this is your responsibility and this is what we need from you. As a coach, he wants you to figure out what he brought you in here for, and then you bring the solution. So it's a little bit different when it comes to being a player and a coach.
So we're here for the draft. Explain your draft story.
Oh, my draft story? I thought you was gonna ask about this draft. All right, cool.
Well, we're gonna get to that.
Nah, my draft story was pretty cool because I remember, I can't remember the exact date, but it was around January 1st, January 2nd.
Yeah.
When I declared for the draft, because we played in the Orange Bowl and we ended up losing the game. But I remember before that, I told Coach Meyer, hey, Coach Meyer, I love Ohio State. I love this team. But before we even got to the bowl game, I told him, like, I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm leaving after this game. Like, it's no ifs, ands, buts about it. So this is why it's funny to me. When we got down to Florida, we had like 3 different scouts that come talk to me while we was in Florida.
Oh,
and they
wow.
were basically saying like, hey, these are the undersized linebackers that got drafted. This is how they did in the NFL. Maybe you should think about staying another year. And when they showed me all this stuff, I was like, I don't know any of these guys on this list. Like, so this is a bad example of people that you're showing me.
Yeah.
So, and then when I got my draft grade, it said, I had a conversation with my dad before the season. I had a good sophomore year. I went All-American. And I was like, if I have anything relatively close to the year I have, I'm declaring for the draft. If it projects me top 3 rounds. And it said my projection was to go no later than 2nd. So I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. But it was a great time. I trained at IMG, and then I ended up going to I ended up coming back up. I didn't get to run my 40 at the combine, so I ran at the pro day. I ended up running a 4.3, and
Is that a true 4.3?
And you should ask all the receivers and running backs I ran down.
Okay.
I love how he nonchalantly was like, I ended up running a 4.3. You know,
Yeah.
it's not too fast. Yeah, it's whatever. It's like,
But you probably, how many times you bench?
I didn't bench. I tore my elbow up, so
Oh yeah, I forgot you were scared.
I literally tore my elbow up in the Sugar Bowl.
Ohio State on Ohio State crime is fun. That was cool. I like that.
That's wild.
I like that.
No,
I do.
this is the fun. I'm gonna be honest. That's one of the most difficult parts about coaching for me this year, is that I was coaching a lot of guys that are literally my brothers. So like Cam, TJ, on the offensive side, it wasn't that many. It was, Boz, but on the defensive side, there's a lot of guys I play with, or a decent amount of guys I play with. So when I'm like, hey man, like you can't do this, you can't do that, they're like, man, you're on my side. I'm like, no, I'm a coach. So I would say but the thing is, you have that give and take when you're a coach as young as I am, and you have guys that you play with.
Yeah, you got a little bit like, you start cheering on the offense. I was like, hey, bro, don't forget where you came from. Like, it hurt my heart to see you cheer for the offensive side of the ball.
Hey, defense
during
wasn't paying my
practice.
bills, bro. But honestly, it was weird cheering on the offense.
Yeah.
And it was cool because I could see what we were developing, working, but just in the aspect of like watching practice, watching what's going on, watching film, like I'll get caught up into watching you guys way more than I should have when I should be watching the offensive side. So like sometimes I'll be watching the film of practice and I'm looking and I see like I start off watching the defense. I'm like, hold up, I gotta rewind. I gotta pay attention to the offense. But the thing that was kind of fun about my draft process, I ended up going on like 18 different visits. So I didn't know where I was gonna go. When I came to Pittsburgh, Coach Butts was like, "Man, Ryan, you're a great player, but we have a young linebacker core right now, a relatively young linebacker core." He was like, "Man, you're a good player, but I don't honestly don't know why you're here because I don't feel like we're gonna draft a linebacker in the first round." That's what he told me.
That was a lie.
Yeah, but I didn't. Vince was here. He played the whole year, so I didn't know. So I was like, all right. I'm probably not going to Pittsburgh. The linebacker coach told me he didn't think I'm coming. So when I went to the draft, I felt like I had a nice suit. When I look back at it, I could have picked a different suit, but I thought it was nice. But my shoes, with my feet being big, and Cam has this issue as well. With your feet being big, sometimes it's hard to find the right shoe. And I kind of was a little delayed on my shoe choice, and my feet was hurting. So I didn't, in the draft room, in the green room, when you see all these guys walking out for the draft, like the first 14 picks, I had my shoes off. I was like, my feet are killing me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so around the 13, 14 pick, I was like, all right, let me put my shoes on. Like I know I'm probably gonna go 14 or later. And then literally I was tying my shoes, and then I see a 412 number call my phone. And I already knew immediately it was Pittsburgh because I had teammates from Ohio State with Pittsburgh phone numbers. So I was like, oh, snap, I'm going to Pittsburgh. The thing that's so funny about it is my agent was at the table. He was like, Ryan, Dallas Cowboys are about to pick you with the 16th pick. And the Steelers picked me with the 15th pick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Glad you didn't end up in Dallas.
What'd you say?
Glad you didn't end up in Dallas.
Yeah, I am too.
What was your first impression of Mike Tomlin and the city of Pittsburgh when you got here as a rookie?
So my first impression of Mike Tomlin was the same impression I've had of him since I've watched football. Mm-hmm. He's a guy that does a great job of leading men. He's a guy that he does a good job of understanding everybody he works with because he understands everybody has a different personality. They have a different way of getting things done. If I can talk to you one way and I talk to Cam one way, I might not get the same results, But I mean, let me say this: I can talk to you one way and I can talk to Cam one way, and I can get the result I want. Yeah. But if I talk to y'all the same way, I might not. And I feel like Coach Tomlin does a really good job of understanding who he's working with, understanding who he's dealing with, and understanding how to try to get the best out of them in their form or his form of doing that.
Mm-hmm. It's funny you talk about like everybody, like Butts telling you that we didn't have a plan for you. I remember like when we would go on our away trips in like Ohio State, it would be on in our meal room. They always brought you up. They always said, Kim, what's he like? I was like, I don't really know him, but everybody who I've talked to, all my teammates that were still there, raved about you. And like, I guess they were kind of using me, but like, they just kept asking about you. And I just feel like, oh, it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so I got really excited having another Buckeye there. Like, I always get excited when we get Ohio State Buckeyes. Like, we've had a lot of success with the Buckeyes, but I just want you to know, they knew they was drafting you before that was even
So the thing that's so crazy with me coaching this year, they were asking me a bunch of questions about Ohio State guys on this, like for this draft. And I'm like, man, I would be extremely surprised if we don't draft, a Mecca or a Travion. Obviously, when we got DJ, I was like, oh, the Mecca, that might not happen because we have other needs. And then, Travion went in the second round. We didn't have a second round pick. So, but man, it is pretty cool, when they come asking you those type of things. And I appreciate you giving me a good recommendation.
Well, like, I remember my junior year at Ohio State, and like there were guys going, I was just watching their pro day, and Mike T came up to me. He was in Ed Hardy jeans at the time. And I was like, all right, this is a different type of coach. Like, nobody's really wearing Ed Hardy jeans. I don't know why he was wearing Ed Hardy jeans, but it was my first interaction with him, and I was like, man, that's a dope head coach. But it was special because like I felt like every time pro day, they're always doing recon before they even need to.
Yeah.
And they're just asking about players.
Yeah, it was funny because my freshman year, I had a good season. And they had a pro day. I was there for a little bit at the end of my freshman year, going into my sophomore year. And I forgot, I think John Simon, that was his draft.
Yep.
And I like went by the pro day, but then I left. And then a few guys texted me, was like, hey, yo, Coach Tomlin was looking for you. And I'm like, what? You know, but it's kind of cool that like they have that much foresight. You know, like they already looking at guys that they think will be good for their team years in advance. The one thing I would say about Coach T is he's been wearing a lot of Cole Haans lately, which are very comfortable shoes, but I think he need to get back in those black forces.
We were talking about the draft. What do you think about our draft so far?
To me, it's very funny because on night one, so many people text me like, man, are you serious? Oh my gosh, what happened? And I try to tell everybody, like, the player we got is a dog.
Yes.
He's an absolute dog, you know, and I think a lot of times what people fail to realize is, like some people, like your job is be the best D tackle in the league, the best DN in the league. TJ's job is to be the best outside backer in the league. Coach Tomlin's job is to be the best head coach. And Omar Khan's job is to have the foresight to build the best team.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, a lot of times we watch people on TV and they say this guy is that good, or we need this position, or we need that position. At the end of the day, everybody in Pittsburgh, everybody in America, even people that don't watch football know that we have to figure out our quarterback situation.
Right.
But the biggest thing that a lot of people fail to realize is so many teams risk and sacrifice and give up so much for the quarterback position, but they might not have the guy that can actually lead them to where they need to go. And I feel that right now, Omar, Coach Tomlin, and the staff, they're looking at the team, seeing how it's constructed, trying to build the best team around it, and they're going to get a quarterback when they feel that it's the right time. Obviously, we want one, but you can reach for somebody, you can think somebody's good, but that doesn't mean that that's the right fit for your team at this moment. So I think, and I know my answer is long right now.
Keep going.
But I think when it comes to the way that the NFL has been working recently, and I know people in Pittsburgh is not going to like to hear this answer, but Philly has been doing a good job of showing people the way. And, you know, building more people to get after the quarterback, building more people to stop the run, it allows you the opportunity to have more opportunities on offense. And I feel like that's what we're doing. We're building up our front on the offensive side and the defensive side of the ball. And if we get after the quarterback like Mahomes, if we get after the Joe Burrows, if we get after Lamar Jacksons, they're turning the ball over, they're getting rid of the ball, they're giving us back the ball, and it's gonna give us more opportunities. So, you know, the game's won in the trenches, and I think that's what the team's trying to do.
You brought up quarterbacks. I'm going to bring it up now. What's going on with Sheduer?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I think Nick Saban said it the best last night. Nick said sometimes, you know, that there are situations where people are looking at a guy, they're talking about a guy, they're talking about a situation. Everybody in this room has been in this situation. Everybody's talking about a situation behind that situation's back, and it leads into something else. And I feel that Sheduer is a great player. I feel that, you know, in God's timing, he's gonna go to the right situation. But I do feel bad for him in the aspect of that it's so much spotlight on this draft about where Sheduer is going and not about what everybody else is doing and success of everybody else. And like even yesterday, he got a prank call. Like to me, like, you know, trolling and all that stuff is supposed to be fun. But at the end of the day, this is somebody's livelihood, and I just feel bad for him because he's a good player. Obviously, him and his dad are very outspoken, but I feel that, you know, he's a player that can help a team, and help them propel to where they want to be. Obviously, the league now, you want somebody that can run a little bit better. So I can see that could be a reason why he's falling. But at the end of the day, I do feel bad for him because, you know, the draft is more about him than the success of everybody else.
Yeah. All right, we're going to change this. We're going to pivot. Let's talk about you in your career. What was your NFL, welcome to the NFL moment?
I would say my welcome to the NFL moment was my first game.
First game?
Yeah, and the reason I'll say that is because my first game, we won the game.
Right.
I think it was the game. It might have been the game when AB kicked the punter in the face. Or that might have been my second year, but I think it might have been that game. But the reason it was my welcome to the NFL moment, our O-line was good. We had Pouncey, we had, you know,
Castro.
we had the Castro. I don't even we didn't even have Al yet. We had Beecham.
Mm-hmm.
We had Marcus Gilbert. They were good. And the only one that I would say was relatively as good as the person I'm about to say is Pouncey.
Mm-hmm.
Because my first game we played against the Browns. And they did an outside zone, and I scraped to try to get to the outside, and Joe Thomas grabbed me. And I've gotten off a lot of blocks in my career, and then some people hold me, and I'm like, man, this dude is extremely strong. And Joe Thomas was the strongest guy that grabbed me, and it was like, yo, like, I don't, like, I'm a grown man, and I don't have any choice of what's about to happen to me right now. You know, and that was my moment. I was like, all right, cool. There are guys in this league that are as fast, as strong, and can do their job just as good. And it kind of flipped the switch immediately and let me know, hey, these guys aren't bullshitting. Like, this guy is, you know, he has to take care of his kids. He has to take care of his family. He has, you know, and that let me know, like, all right, Ryan, just understand, like, everybody you playing against, they're real deal.
I'll talk about your rookie year because I feel like I was extra tough on you your rookie year.
No, all you guys were. But the thing is, I honestly feel that helped me become the guy that I ended up becoming.
Yeah.
Like where I am now, but then also the guy I became, you know, the Pro Bowler and all that. I feel like that helped me become that guy.
Well, like his rookie year, Mike T told me he was like, he's gonna get the green dot. And to get the green dot means he's gonna be calling the plays. In turn, he's got to get the plays out. He's got to be able to tell everybody. And Ryan's listening, and we're screaming at him, we need the play because we got the line already lined up. And so I would let Ryan have it. I would be like, Ryan, I need the damn play now. Like, what are we doing? And everybody's screaming at Ryan. And you could tell Ryan was like going through it because you were trying to take in information and still get it out, breathe, read the play. Like there was a lot of checks going on. I will say when he got to like, after you made the Pro Bowl, right? You were calling plays even before the defense was even called.
Yeah.
And we don't really do like, there's not a lot of really good linebackers that can do that because one, there's just so much information they have to process. They're trying to either look at a play, not call it, and you can't tell a D lineman, oh, you're out of the wrong gap.
Yeah.
So like we put a lot on your play early on, but I think it benefited us later on. Because I think like this is my big what if, and I hate it. But like, if you don't get hurt, I think we have the best defense that year.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Cam.
I do. Like, we were rolling that year,
Yeah.
and like we had just gotten Joe Hayden. We were like you had me, Stephon Tuitt, Javon Hargrave, TJ,
Jeez.
Bud. Like, we were cooking. Like,
Yeah.
that was like we were in our prime, and like it hurt us watching you not be out there, because we were like, one, that's our brother, but like we were all hitting our stride at the same time.
No, I definitely feel like we were all hitting our stride at the same time. And I would say my rookie year and then just all the years before I got injured led up to that moment.
Yeah.
Because my rookie year, it was really hard for me because, and I'm not saying hard in the aspect of, man, like I couldn't handle it. It was hard because I'm a pleaser, so I wanted to make sure that everybody got what they wanted. And what was so crazy to me was I was drafted in the first round, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to play. I wanted to play. But one of my reasons of going to Ohio State, because I understand just because you got drafted this high, or just because you're a 5-star, just because, you know, people want you, that doesn't mean that you're best for that moment.
Mm-hmm.
That means that you can really grow into the player that you need to be. So when I got drafted, I was like, you know, I might end up starting within the middle of the year, work my way up. Literally, for instance, you know, our first round draft pick got drafted Thursday. Today is Saturday. We had like a fan fest at the stadium.
Yep.
Monday is rookie minicamp. Coach Tomlin, Coach LeBeau, and Coach Butt say, hey, Ryan, obviously you're calling the plays in rookie minicamp, but just know you're calling the plays for the defense when everybody comes back. So I thought like, hey, I might work my way up the depth chart. The depth chart was like, no, Ryan, you're starting, you're calling the plays. You're like this, like, so in our first practice, I was like, all right, you know, they'll be like, hey, this is a basic call. We have cover 3. You have to set it to the strength of the defense. In college, the strength is one way. In the NFL, the strength is another way.
Yep.
So I'll be like, strong right. The defense, everybody on the defense is like, no, stupid, strong left. No, right? So like in the NFL, like the strength is the tight end, and in college, it's the passing formation. So, but then if we get in a nickel call, it's the passing formation, not the tight end.
Yes.
So then we'll get in a nickel call, and I'll be like, hey, strong left. They're like, no, strong right. So it would be like, Cam be like, yo, what's the call? What's the call? And then Will Allen's like, yo, strong right. And I'm like, yo, like, hold up, like, I need a second. Like, give me you know, so, but that helped me process stuff a lot faster. Then I started watching film with Will. I started watching film with Cam. And then I started getting better and processing it a little bit more. And then my third year, the year I made the Pro Bowl, before the season started, me and Coach Tomlin, what people don't fail to realize, people don't know, before every practice in camp, I used to go to his room and me and him would talk about what he wanted the day to look like. So like he'll do with the quarterbacks, hey, Ryan, I need you to be a little tougher on the guys today. Hey, Ryan, it's going to be a few times we're not going to give you any calls. So we just need you to pitch the defense in the best call today. You know, so it allowed me to understand, all right, this is how I had to process stuff. But then I also told him my goals. I'm like, hey, Coach, this is the goals I want to match. I want to achieve. And he's like, Ryan, the one thing I'm going to tell you is, and I told Derrick Brooks, and Derrick Brooks had a conversation when I was a coach, when he played. Every time you make a call, every time you're thinking about setting the defense, set it for it's the best situation for your teammates, not for yourself. And here's like, because every time you pit it where your teammates are in a better situation than yourself, it's going, the plays that you want, if you're in position, are going to come to you. Yeah. So, and I was just telling Jalen this earlier today, like it'll be times that same year when coach was telling me and I was like, all right, cool, is I'm learning how to figure out how to call plays, learning how to figure out what I'm looking at. We'll look at something, and it helped a lot because me and Vince watched a lot of film, so I can be looking one way, and then he's already looking at the offense. So he'll be like, hey, Ryan, it's looking like this. So I can like, all right, cool. Mm-hmm. But it'll be times where Mike Hilton or TJ will be covering Tyreek Hill or somebody in Tyreek Hill caliber or George or a Julian Edelman, and I would see it and I'll be like, oh, this is a terrible play call. Boom. Let me put a play call where TJ's rushing the passer or Mike Hilton's blitzing. It might put me in a shittier position. It might put somebody else that's good at covering in a terrible position. Mm-hmm. But it's a lot better than TJ covering Tyreek Hill. And play after play after play, when I would take somebody out of position, they will make the play, or you will make a play, or Joe will make a pick. And I was like, man, like this making the defense better.
Right.
And then all the stuff I wanted was happening for me as well. So then after a while, when I already knew what Coach Butts wanted to call or Coach T wanted to call, I would call the play. I'll see what I'm looking at. This is terrible for this guy. Hey, we're sending the blitz this way. You got this. And it started just rolling. And so it helped out a lot.
Was there any time you felt like you were starstruck in the NFL?
I feel like I was starstruck when we played. I think we played Tom every year. Maybe 1 year we didn't play Tom, but I think we played Tom almost every year I played. I was starstruck when I actually met Adrian Peterson. So it was my second year, and this is what starstruck me. I played against these guys. What starstruck me is we played in the Hall of Fame game, and this is when Squeezem got hurt. I played in the Hall of Fame game, and I had worked out with Ian, worked out with Debo this offseason, so I came back like feeling jacked. I was, and I had a great preseason game. And then after the game, Adrian Peterson came up to me and was like, hey man, you're gonna be one hell of a player. Like, I look forward to playing you in a few years. I look forward to playing you. And then he shook my hand, and everybody knows about his handshake. And and I was like, oh shit, like, I'm sorry for cussing out those kids in here, but I was like, man, like Adrian Peterson, a guy I've been looking up to, like, he was like, hey man, you're gonna be a good player. Yeah. And it really made me like, oh snap, like, people are paying attention.
Yeah. Dang. All right, we're gonna go this or that. It's our segment. We're gonna throw some stuff at you, see how you deal with it, see if everybody boos you, see if everybody cheers you.
Yeah, I heard Jalen say that he wants a renegade. The offense can't have renegade. They better
Gets him way too hyped up. That would never make sense. I don't want the crowd
loud.
You can't
do renegade twice.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Jalen.
No, come on.
And then Jalen didn't tell y'all what he eats. Like, he doesn't. He said he eats ground beef and a bunch of eggs, and he put them in a bowl, and he eats that like 4 times a week. So.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Yeah, but you need to. I told him to come talk to you. But you need to really talk to him about how to, no, I'm being dead serious. This will help prolong his career. You need to really talk to him about, like, eating choices and, like, having a diet and stuff like that.
Do you think I'm the best person to do that?
Hold on. You are very conscious of what you're eating.
No, I'm saying you're conscious of what you're eating.
You are. Come on.
Like,
very true.
I don't know if you cook or if Alec cooks.
There's a way to do it.
Or if y'all have a chef. I don't know what's the plan. But what I'm saying is you understand what's good for you during the season, what's bad for you during the season, and what helps you get going.
Right.
I'm saying, like, he doesn't know anything about any of that. Like, you can give
If
him
anyone has a chef for Jaylen Warren, we will take that and give that to him.
Well, Ryan, when did you learn how important that was in your
I learned
career?
that my rookie year.
Really?
Because
you were already on a strict diet to begin with.
I'm on a strict diet by default, though. Like, because, like, I'm truly allergic to a lot of stuff, so it makes me picky in what I can eat. Like, I couldn't eat I can't eat seafood. I can't eat nuts. Pause. I can't,
Oh, God. Grow up. Will you grow up?
He said it.
You grow up.
Why have
But you thought it.
Nah, but
you thought
the
it.
thing is, I knew he was thinking it, so, but, like, I couldn't eat those things, so it made me picky growing up.
So naturally.
So, like, a lot of people in the NFL, they become like vegans or they become pescatarians and all that type of stuff. I couldn't do that. So, and then when but I used to eat a lot of BS. Like, I used to eat a lot of Papa John's and all this type of stuff. But so then I end up hanging out with James a lot. Then he would have like meal prep. Then I'll spend time with Ian. I'll spend time with like other guys. I would see what AB was doing. And it's like all these guys are really like locked in on their diets.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I learned more about it. And then I seen all right, if I eat this way, I don't have no inflammation. We get so much inflammation from playing football in general. So if I can get less, I'm gonna do it. And the doctor said the fact that I ate the way I ate and took care of the way I took care of my body, my injury probably wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Wow. Wow.
All right, let's get to this or that.
All right, I got you. My bad.
First one, bone-in or boneless wings?
So I like bone-in wings,
Okay, making sure. Thank God.
all flats,
All flats, not drums?
all flats.
All
That's
right.
the problem, Cam. He don't listen.
He said that with authority too.
He did.
He
He
did not
was-
play about that.
I'll eat drums, but like if I have a choice, all flats, extra crisp.
Wow. If you know the way to Ryan's heart, it's all flats.
That's not the way to my heart, but you asked about wings.
Larry Fitzgerald or Darrell Revis?
I'm taking the second leading all time. Wait, is it catches or is it yards or is it?
Oh,
He's second all time.
I think it's catches. I think
Yeah.
I think it is catches. I think it is.
Revis is a dog. He has his own island. But at the end of the day, like if you're second of anything, and it's been a game that's been around for over 100 years, I'm taking you.
Very true. Who means more to the city of Pittsburgh, Sidney Crosby or Ben Roethlisberger?
So I had an argument with my friend about this yesterday.
Oh,
No, but it wasn't about Sidney Crosby. But it was about Ben, though. I would say Ben, oh, that's tough. Sid got 3 championships.
he does.
Sid has 3 championships, but people love football more than hockey here. It's a hockey town, though. It's a great night for hockey, you know what I'm saying? But I would say Ben. But the reason, I know this is a segment, but
Go ahead, go for it.
So obviously everybody here is about to hate the name I'm about to say. And because, so let me finish the conversation before y'all boo or not boo. All right. So a friend of mine, he's a Raven fan, right? Boo.
Oh,
right.
God.
So-
You're just starting.
Right.
Go for it.
So he was like, Ben and Joe Flacco on the same level. I'm like, you're disrespectful, right? So I was like, so I said, I'm like, you're extremely disrespectful. I'm like, Ben has 2 championships, and he's like he's all time on a list. Like he's just not a nobody. He's like top 10 all time in passing or something like that.
Right.
Right. So then he was like, I think the city of Baltimore loves Lamar more than they love Joe Flacco. And I was like, yeah, they probably do. You know what I'm saying? They probably do. But I was like, if we drafted Lamar right here, and he's done everything he's done to this point, and he's after Ben, the city of Pittsburgh would still love Ben more because Ben has had
The Super Bowl.
2 Super Bowls.
Rings.
He's been to 3. He's
Yeah.
second all time in all this. I understand if Lamar has all these MVPs and stuff, but what he means to the city is
Right.
more. So that's why I'm saying, like, this team loves the Steelers. They love Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers, the Penguins, then it's like Pitt basketball,
And then,
and then, you know what I'm saying, Pitt volleyball, and then, I'm playing, but the Pirates are right there too, though.
I don't think you are, and I think everybody agrees with you is the sad part of that. So you're right.
you're just trying to go viral today, aren't you?
No, I'm not. No, because I love the Pirates. Like I'm cool with, I'm cool with Travis. Paul Skeens is a great guy. So,
Oh, well, that brings us to our next question. TJ Watt or Paul Skeens?
hey, I'm not gonna lie.
Bigger
Hey,
in the city.
That's like, come on, bro.
Just say it.
And the thing is, like, I like TJ a lot. I like Paul a lot,
Oh,
but I'm not on neither one of their podcasts. I'm taking Cam Heyward.
my dog.
Oh,
my dog.
wow. Man, what is this? Don't be that nice to him. Come on now.
What means more to you, Renegade or Black and Yellow?
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I like Wiz, but like the song is very repetitive. So I'm taking Renegade. Like
Okay.
like that has way more impact on my life than Black.
Did it get you as hyped as it gets the fans? Like, what
So the thing is-
goes through you when Renegade pops on?
So when Renegade pops up, it's just like, hey, let's use this moment to hype up the fans. When I play, the only stuff I heard was my teammates. I didn't hear no crowd noise. I just heard, like, I locked in so much, I only heard, like, Cam, I only heard Vince, I only heard, so like if Renegade's coming on, I see it. I'm like, oh, like the video hypes me up. I hear the music, but I know it's hyping the crowd up, and people are expecting something to happen from us. And to me, like my job is to entertain.
Yeah, entertain.
So.
All right, last one. Let me get it right. This is tough. Ben's throw to Santonio.
Immaculate reception. I heard it earlier.
You're taking the immaculate reception?
That started we are the Pittsburgh Steelers not because of that, but that was the start. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to take something away that helps start something.
Okay. I can respect that.
How aware of the tradition of the Steelers were you before you got here?
So the thing is, as a Floridian, I like the Steelers because of defense. My dad was a defensive coach, so I just understood the importance of defense, importance of how this city supported the defense, how they supported the team. And to me, when I was at Ohio State, I felt like it was very similar. The cities are very similar. Obviously, Pittsburgh is more blue collar than Ohio is, but when it came to just how much people cared about their football there and how much people expected you to win. Speaking of Ohio State, Cody Simon gets drafted. But to me, I knew that coming here, it meant a lot. Not just to the city of Pittsburgh, but just to like being in the NFL. You know, there's a lot of guys that get drafted to the Cardinals. There's guys that get drafted to the Jags. There's guys that get drafted to, Houston Texans. Those are great franchises, but I don't think any of them won a Super Bowl yet. Right. We have 6. I don't think there's any of them where I can go to St. Bart's and people are like, hey, man, I'm a huge Steeler fan. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I just think it's like I knew that before. There were Steeler bars from the house that I grew up at, but I'm like, this is crazy. But like to actually get drafted here, it meant more.
I want to wrap with this question. What advice would you give a rookie coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers?
On offense or defense?
Ooh, I like that.
Is it that different?
I definitely feel like it's the difference.
Tell us. Say it for both.
I feel on the defensive side of the ball, it's more of you understand the legacy of people that you're coming into. We have a great legacy of players on offense as well. But when it comes to defense, we have the steel curtain. You're coming into a defense that has not just 2 potential Hall of Famers, but so many like other guys who are top at their job. Just understand that you have people that you can lean on, learn from, and a coach that can help you become the best version of yourself. That's offense and defense when it comes to the coach. But when it comes to just the guys that you can learn around on the defensive side, when it comes to the offensive side as a rookie, I feel that you need to come in with a dog mentality. Somebody that understands, hey, I have to get it out of the mud because Arthur Smith, he wants to run it down your throat. He's a guy that's trying to make sure that everybody in the NFL understands the city of Pittsburgh. This is how we play football. And I feel when you're on the offensive side of the ball, you can get lost in the aspect of I'm on offense, I want the ball, it's all about me. And when you come here on offense, I feel every successful Pittsburgh team, when the offense has an unselfish mentality, that's when we have a great team. And I feel like that's the type of mindset they need to have coming in as a rookie.
I dig it. All right, I want to say thank you to Ryan Shazier for coming on the pod.
Appreciate you, man.
We're going to move a little bit faster. We're going to wrap this up pretty soon, but we got one last segment to wrap up with.
Little Ask Cam Anything segment from our Instagram. We're going to ask you some questions. You got to answer it, but you're right. Let's make this quick answers, all right?
Yep.
This is Bliss President wants to know, who is your Pittsburgh Steeler idol?
Pittsburgh Steeler idol. Joe Green.
Joe Green, who called you after your Walter Payton Hall of Fame, or Man of the Year too, right?
Yes.
All right. I think it's B-Duh. Put your best defensive lineup using any Steeler in history. So give me your front four. How about that?
Oh, I'll do whole defense real
you can
quick.
do the whole defense?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
I'm going to say Joe Green. I'm going to say Elsie Greenwood. I'm going to say James Harrison, TJ Watt. Then I'm going to go Ryan Shazier next to Jack Lambert. Then I'm going to go Mel Blount. Then I'm going to go Ike Taylor or Carnell Lake.
Oh, so man, Rod Woodson's there too.
Rob Woodson. Then I'm going to go Troy. And then I'll move Carnell to safety.
Okay. Man, you did that quick. How many times have you thought about that?
Plenty of times.
All right. Best picker, what was your best game?
I think one of my best games, I think, it means a lot to me because just of the situation. We were playing the Las Vegas Raiders Christmas night or Christmas Eve. And it was to honor Franco passing away. I think I had like 2 sacks, a bunch of tackles, but like that just felt like, a match made in heaven.
Did running out with his number, you ran out that had to make it better, right?
Because I was asked by his family to run out with that number. And it I didn't want to let that moment go.
All right, I like this one here. Do the players prefer block numbers to the current numbers like fans? Also, I'm going to say gray face mask. I want them. I love the gray face mask. I thought those were great this year. I want those back.
I like the block numbers. The block numbers they're old school. I know it's a different look, so if we did it too much, I don't think everybody would love it, but block numbers are pretty cool.
I also, real quick, I wouldn't mind hearing the fans too. Bumblebees, yes or no?
Yes.
Bumblebees? Yes?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
You know why I like the Bumblebees? Because we have a winning record in them.
You never lose in those. You guys never
We may
lose.
have lost once or twice, but it's a good
All
one.
right, I think this is probably my favorite one. Who is your comp as an NBA player? I think Charles Barkley too. I kind of like that one. I like Charles Barkley.
Most dominant big man, Shaq.
Shaq?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know about that.
Who's your comp for NFL?
I don't know. Who do you think? Give me
Christian Kuntz.
Hey, you know what? Shout out my boy Kunzi. I'll take it. That's a great career, and I have my own podcast if I'm Kuntz too, so we're good. All right, we're good. Shout out Kuntz. Love it. That's all I got for
That's
Ask
all?
Anything. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
all I got for you, buddy.
All right, and now the moment you've all been waiting for, our grand prize, my Steelers helmet giveaway. Let's do a drum roll. All right, and congratulations to Michelle Wilkie.
Wow.
There we go. We will give it to you a little bit later.
Okay, this feels like
Congratulations.
cheating, though. Okay, who picked this? Has the Cam jersey. Did you pick that? That's what you
I
saw
did
the
not
jersey?
pick that.
Oh, this even more. There's collusion. This is
There's
collusion. This is collusion.
There's collusion.
It's collusion.
All right, but wait, we're not done yet. We've also got an official Cam Heyward Steelers jersey that needs a new home. And it's going to, drum roll please, Landon Teamer.
Right there.
Make some noise for our winners. We will make sure to get this to you guys. Want to say thank you so much to everybody for showing up. We had a blast doing it.
Amazing time as always, man.
Always. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Drop a follow and rating wherever you stream our podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday. Appreciate it, guys.